Good evening, Craig Coltman here for FlyStream magazine, and today we're going to tie the Zulu Tag. Now the Zulu Tag is one of my favourite all-rounder flies. It's look, I use it for tailing fish, I use it for polaroiding, I use it for beetle feeders, I use it for midge feeders. It's just a very versatile fly, and I'd certainly recommend everybody have one in their box. So today we're tying this on a B160, a Camazam B160 in size 14. So it's a short shanked hook, and importantly it's a mid-wire. You really can't get away with tying this fly on a light wire because frankly in the lakes you can catch some very big fish. Now a light wire you're going to have hook failure and we don't want that, so hence it's on a medium wire hook using standard 8/0 thread. And we put a little tag into this, which is the Glow Bright multi yarn in the magenta colour. And we'll tie a little bit in there, and I just tie that in the full shank of the hook. Lash that down. And now we're going to put in our seal's fur body. Now for this I like to use the Loon High Tack Swax, and you'll see why, because I want to put in a very tightly dubbed ball of a body here, so that real tacky wax can certainly help to help to create that ball body. Just push out a bit of seal's fur here, black seal's fur, and we're going to spin that onto the hook very tightly. It's a good idea not to cut your index finger when you're fly tying. As you can see, it sort of makes life a bit difficult, but anyway, we'll persevere regardless. So I spin that onto my thread very, very tightly to create a very tight little plump round body. There you go. Sort of starting at the back there, coming forward, and what I often do is I'll go back over this again. So coming back down, so as we work around it, creating that little ball, we've got a nice little ball of a body there. Now then we'll cut off our tag at this stage. About 3mm is what we want there. That's it. Now for this, a black cock hackle. This is a saddle hackle, and you really need to select a very small hackle in this. You can see we're tying on 14, so we don't want too long. And I do this so that the natural camber of the hackle is facing to the back. I actually want my hackle to slide backwards on this fly, catching it at the front there. And then we're going to put in quite a few turns here. I create quite a plump body, or sorry, a front hackle. So it's that 3, 4, about 5 turns there. Coming in the back, then coming forward. You can just snap that off. Now at this stage I wet my fingers and I pull all the hackles back up when I create my head. So I pull them all back up like that. That's good. Bit more wax. I don't bother using head cement on this fly, it doesn't need it, as long as I use this high tack wax in my whip finish there. Again, pulling up about 4 or 5 turns for my whip finish, and that's all you need there. So pull that in tight, cut that off. Now the final little bit is I like to stroke all the hackle fibres up, and I don't really want anything sticking down. I want this to sit flush with the water. So if there are, I'll roll that around and I'll find that there's some hackle fibres sitting down. I simply cut those off and I put in the tips of my pliers, or sorry, not pliers, scissors, cut them off like that. Again, stroking back, and that's ideal now. That means that when that fly sits, it'll sit flush in the surface, which is how you want it. So that's the Zulu Tag. Very simple fly to tie, but a very effective fly to use. Like so many of the good flies, they're not difficult to tie, they just work. The Zulu Tag.
This film was proudly brought to you by The Fly Fisher in Melbourne and theflyfisher.com.au, where you'll find everything to tie the Zulu Tag and a whole lot more.